Matcha. What's your favorite name?
Gia's gonna do the intro.
Welcome back, I guess. Tuned in, you know what I mean? Same old series, new script, new day, new beginnings. This is where we at with it.
So for today's video, we are going to be sharing the names we love but will not be using. So obviously I have way more names than Gio. Woman in general just makes lists since they're in high school. Names that he likes since he was younger as well. My list is definitely more out there. It's more classic, but we still decided on baby boy's name to be something that's really bold and unique and different, and it's a name that we've never heard of anyone use yet.
Yeah, I think it's like also worth noting too, because names are really important, and I can definitely say like I've gone to places or been invited or like gotten certain opportunities because of my name, and people really love, I guess, the way my name sounds and the way my name is spelled out.
Especially older ladies.
Yeah,
they love to hear
something about older ladies in my name. It just like
they're like, Giovanni. Oh my gosh, if I was your age, I would take your husband.
It happened multiple times.
So it took us a while to come to a conclusion as to which name we were going for, just because we have very different tastes. And every other name that I was throwing out there, as you guys know, he didn't like, and we just couldn't agree on one. And then, like I mentioned in the last video, we agreed on the one that we're naming him, both first and middle name. So that's the one. One of the names that I've always liked, but we were gonna name our Doberman if we were to get a Doberman. This would have been his name. In general, I like the name. It's Atlas. And then I liked it with the middle name River. Atlas River. So a lot of the names on my list actually have a middle name already, just because I like to think of those beforehand. My family does middle names.
We have middle names, which is like not as like popular. Like my middle name is Antonio, but like
mine's is Maria.
No one really knows that. It's not like a thing like, oh, what's your middle name? It's kind of like, I don't know. I feel like if I tell them my middle name, I feel like they're trying to get something from me. Like they want your full name and address. Trying to sell me something? Just trying to sell me.
Like our generation is definitely way more open with names being unique.
Oh, yeah,
and different
100%.
and bold. So I definitely do appreciate that about our generation.
My first name was one of my favorite actors, Leonardo DiCaprio. It's literally one of my favorite actors, and I love that name, Leonardo.
Hello, Scorpio.
I just felt like I don't know, you hear the name Leonardo and it's like you just want to get into action or something like that. So I love that name, Leonardo.
He's Gio, he wanted Leo.
Yeah, so I wanted a little like Gio and Leo, like a kind of like a tandem group thing going on, me and my son. But it wound up not being that, so be ready for the dog if you get a dog.
Next name on my list is Orion. And I just love any name that starts with an O. Onyx, of course you can't name your baby Onyx if you're from Philly. Two more on here that with O. I just think it's very bold. It's very strong.
O'Reilly.
So that's why he didn't like the name.
That I kept thinking of that.
Well, this name sounds like that. The other names don't.
Right.
With O. I'm really into constellation, starry names, celestial names. So that's definitely one that I liked specifically because it started with an O. And the middle name that I had for that was Dusk. So Orion Dusk.
I like the middle name Dusk. I get bang with that. Like Dusk. That sounds pretty dope. My other second favorite name, I only have 5. So Alicio. Kim said the middle name Crew, but I don't really like Crew because of that song. Like Loving the Crew. Weird connotation. But I like the name Alicio. Opera-ish. Sounds like fancy. Like you hear the name Alicio. I just feel like this guy is got a suit on and slick back hair. This kid's gonna know his stuff. He's gonna know PEMDAS. Like
Pronounced the name Alessio just because of Alessia Cara, the singer.
Oh, okay.
So I just associate. I think Alessio's a DJ too. Alessi?
Alessi.
Or am I thinking of Avicii? I don't know. But I like the name Crew. It's very popular now. Even as a first name, like Crew. Imagine when they get older, it's like, oh, Grandpa Crew. Like that sounds like cool. Oh, that's a cool grandpa. Like
it also sounds like a Disney character, Crew, or some type of thing that like.
Has yet to be used though in Disney.
Yeah, Crew. No, that's pretty dope. I like that too.
Another name that I've always loved for either a girl or a boy is Phoenix. Personally, we don't know anybody named Phoenix, but it has been used a lot by other people. But what I think of is Potter and the Order of the Phoenix.
It's a punk rock. That's what I think of.
What?
Long hair, punk rock.
I think of
5 o'clock shadow.
No, I don't.
Monster
I don't
energy
see
drinks
that.
all in the room.
No.
Phoenix.
I think of somebody who's just bold, independent, who doesn't conform, and it's just has a fiery spirit. That's what I think of, like Phoenix.
It gets deep.
And like the Phoenix, you know, the mythological creature Phoenix rises from the ashes. And that's one of the mythological creatures in my chart as a Scorpio. So I definitely relate to that, and I think that's why I always liked it.
It's always back to her being a Scorpio. Is that a Scorpio thing? The next one was this is one of my favorites, but then it was kind of like
Since
you.
high school.
I always said this. If I had a kid, his name would be Vincenzo.
But how many Vincenzos do y'all know in South Philly?
It's just a little handful of Vincenzos. It just sounds so right. So it is kind of used. It is kind of used.
I think there's somebody in South Philly who has that name.
Yeah, there's a bunch of people in South Philly. That
Yeah.
but it's still a good name.
Maybe
So,
not.
but the
Yeah.
next name on my list is, I don't know. I only knew one guy ever. And that's a name. That's a name. Why I want to name this list. I want to jump to it anyway. This next name is really cool. It's named. I got this name from. I met this guy at one of my first jobs ever. Was at Lowe's, and we were in the lawn and garden section just messing around. Really great guy. Maybe he sees this video one day. Maybe he doesn't. His name is Bryn. Brynn. Coolest guy ever. Dude was. Of course, the name sounds husky, and this guy was husky. The guy was like 6'4", built like a rock.
You'd think because the person's build was like that, it makes their name sound stronger.
I think so, but that's back to their point saying that like your name kind of adapts to your personality, and the name Bryn, I think of like muscular guy, axe throwing.
Well, the name Bryn, according to Google, means hill.
Oh, I liked it. His name was Bryn, and Kim's like middle name Wilder. This guy sounds like he lives out in the forest for 30 days and documents
Bryn
it.
Wilder.
Bryn Wilder.
See, and that's the thing, like where we're different. You don't mind choosing names that are associated with people that you may have met in your life. I do. I cannot name someone else's name that I've known. Even if they're a great person, I feel like our child needs to have its own personality. And it's
Right.
like, oh, you were named after this guy from Lowe's.
I mean, that would be kind of weird, cause like, yeah, I guess your dad.
Like, who
would
is
ask
this
him,
guy? You
Oh,
just
why'd you
worked
name
with
me?
him.
Oh, I never heard anyone else.
It's a
with that
great name. I like it, especially with a Y. I think
Yeah, it was pretty
names
dope.
with Y or just Y, X, or O, like those letters are so uncommon.
Plus, we never heard anyone else named Bryn. I've never heard anyone named Bryn.
No,
And I like Bryn. Like it just sounded really good. Even in Spanish, Bryn. Like it just sounds.
I don't know why my mind resorts to Bounty or towels, and it's the
Oh.
lumberjack in the front. I feel like his name is Bryn.
Yeah. That's true.
Other name that I liked this maybe like in 2017. Came to my head, and the name is Haven. I always liked it with the middle name Lake. So Haven Lake. As you guys can tell, I really like names that are related to water because I'm a water sign. I'll do the next one since you did
Yeah,
the
go
other
ahead.
one. The other name that I like but Gio does not like at all is Quest. I think the adventurous name, like Quest. Oh, come over here, Quest. Like it's like, ooh, whose child is that?
I didn't really like it because I thought like maybe we're not ready for that name yet. I thought that name should be like maybe in the time zone 2055 or something like that. Like
You think it's too futuristic?
yeah, I think it's like we're not like we'll be ahead of our time. And I don't know. I just didn't.
I mean, I wouldn't mind that.
Because like
I always
Quest.
love to be ahead of our
Quest.
time.
Yeah, so it's like it sounds dope, but also it's like whoa, Quest. It doesn't sound like a name, but also doesn't sound like I don't know. I wasn't like my heart wasn't set on it. I was like, nah, that's not it.
I like names that don't sound like human names. I'm tired of them.
Yeah.
I just personally don't like them. But Quest definitely sounds futuristic, and it has been on baby names lists that are projected to skyrocket, say as far as 2, 3, 4 years from now. So that's definitely one of them that it's going to become more popular then.
Oh, this is a name I really liked it too. Calder. I feel that was pretty dope. I don't know. I think you kind of see like Kim's very like out there, space, time continuum, ocean stuff. Like she likes very like figurative names. I kind of like more of like names that are names, but like they're maybe like a little different. She's very like far out there. Permanent aliens. Colder. I thought that was really dope. I just love the way it sounds. Colder. Like I'm getting like ex-CIA knows a lot of stuff that you wouldn't know, but also lay his heart on his sleeves for you. Or it's the name of an evil villain. It can go either way. So I liked that one a lot. I really did. Colder. Like I like how it sounds. Sounds like just like he's down to get dirty and gritty, and he's a good guy, and it sounds like a Lifetime movie. But it's a really good name.
I agree. It definitely has that vibe to it. The only thing is, for me, Calder sounds a little bit too similar to Cauldron, where the witches brew their potions and stuff. And it's just, I can't get my mind to disassociate that. So the other name on my list is Tide, with a Y, and with the ocean, sea, water theme. I thought it was very unique, very different.
I thought Tide Pods, so I was like, nah.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I thought about that too, and I'm like, oh, a little Tide Pod. They might call him that and make fun of him. The next one on the list is Journey. It's very powerful. One of those words that are related to quests. Like,
I think Journey's a
hippie
hippie name. I think Journey is a very hippie name.
Megan Fox named her son Journey.
Yeah, it sounds like very like 1970s.
It's continuous. We're all on a journey. A new journey begins. I don't know. I liked it. The other name that I like is Elion, and it means most high. So definitely something that's very spiritual and related to the Bible. And I liked it with the E. So Elion with a Y and an O at
It sounds
the
like
end.
just you're mispronouncing alien.
But the spelling says Elion. You can't take it seriously. See how different we are?
Alien. It's like alien but fancy. Alien.
We're gonna say alien. Where's that from?
Alien. Where's that from?
Where is it from?
That's from
We gotta
oh my
insert
god,
that.
where's that from? Where's it? Nah, I can't stop. I gotta think of it now. Where is that from? Aliens. I don't know where it's from.
We're figuring
Oh, we
it
gotta
out.
figure it out. We have to figure it out.
Alright, now that ruined it for me.
Aliens.
Now that ruined it for me.
It
Now I
does.
can't
It
get
sounds
that
like
out
a
of my head.
fancy alien.
We threw our parents a gender reveal. His bear theme, obviously, with the little slippers. It says Bebe also, baby bear. I'm calling him Bear since the beginning just because that's a common theme in my family. We call my dad Papa Bear. Papa also. I just thought it flowed really well, Elian Bear. It still was strong enough where Bear wouldn't seem as soft. Especially if they're older, like an adult, like, oh, your middle name's Bear. It's like Elian Bear. The other name is Horizon. I just love how it sounds, like horizon, like you're looking into the horizon. It's a beautiful sunset, along with the middle name Soleil in French, which means sun. I always look for names that flow very well. And the last two were basically the top two contenders for baby boy. Decided not to go forward with these, but they were definitely his name for a while. So the first name is Ocean, probably my favorite name ever. I love the name Ocean. I always wanted a son named Ocean. So different, so unique. Nobody would have had that name. And then Desi Perkins took it last year. Oh, I love her and I love baby Ocean. I cannot get myself to not think of Desi and Ocean and family. Can't do that. I was really stuck on it and I was really butthurt about it. Remember when I told you? I was
Yeah.
like, she took my name. Like, congratulations, and I love it, but like she took my name and I just love the name of it, like Ocean. Like, it just sounds like powerful, like you're this powerful tide, this force of nature. Powerful.
It's still a good name.
If we have a second son just because his family is all boys, we can still go with that because I still have that name.
No, it's a good name.
And so the middle name took me a while to find. Middle names for Ocean are really, really difficult. It took me months, not to say during this pregnancy. It was like even before when I decided on the name Ocean.
Yeah, Kim's been looking at names for like
For years.
Yeah, for years. She's always had this like little notes in her phone stored or somewhere like, oh, I'm gonna name my son this or that. How's it sound? And I'm just like, oh, whatever. It sounds cool. Blah blah blah. And then like now she's showing this long list of names. I'm just like, oh, at least she prepared for this. She
Which
really
girl
did.
isn't prepared? With the middle name Lux, which means light in French. And obviously I like French names because I'm in love with Paris.
Girls go to France one time and their whole lives are dedicated to just one country. Girls.
like a fairy
For her,
tale.
happened to be France. Some people be going to like Italy and naming all their kids every other Italy name.
Well, that actress, Francia Raisa, her sister's name Irlanda, which is Ireland, and her other sister's name Italia, Italy.
Yeah,
Because
same.
the parents traveled to those three countries and fell in love with it.
Right.
So it's common. Like, you hear people named China,
Argentina.
Argentina. My mom's name is literally Argentina. The last name, we decided on that name, and then we created the second name. Not from scratch, obviously, but we put it together.
Like a backup.
And Gio really loved it, and I loved this name for years as well. I just never knew if the person I was going to end up with would have liked it, but you actually really liked it. And
Yeah,
then
really do.
with the middle name, it would just go so well, and I'd never heard of it. So if you're watching this, don't take this name because I know who you are. Nobody else has ever said this name together. And this will probably be our son's as well. One of those last two, if we have a second one, it will definitely be one of those two names. Name is Maverick Oath. So the name Maverick obviously is an American name. It means non-conforming, goes against, you know, the status quo,
Yeah,
the
it's really
general
dope.
population.
It's a pretty powerful name.
It's very powerful, and obviously it's Cruise in the movie Top Gun.
I love nicknames. So like I kept thinking like, oh, Mav. Because it was super dope, super cool. Like I love the name Maverick. I don't know anyone named Maverick, except for LeBron's business partner, of course, Maverick. A lot of guys know that. But I still love the name Maverick. Like that's like, even if I wrote it out like, in cursive, I'm like, I could do this all day. I love the name Maverick. And the middle name Oath,
I thought of it.
Kim liked that. I thought it was pretty cool too. I think it's very like honorable to have a name like that, like Oath. Maybe he lives up to be an honorable, trustworthy kid.
Just because the name meaning of Maverick is so bold and non-conforming, and I always wanted our children to be non-conforming because that's how we are. We're very unconventional. We don't follow the blueprints of how things should be done in society or in anything, completely honest. So I definitely wanted to invoke that into our children's values and the way
personality
they
traits.
go about life. Not to settle for less, not to conform. Like, we reject all of those structures and barriers and restrictions. We just reject all of that. So Maverick, the name meaning, was perfect. I don't really care too much for how it's spelled. Actually, I think it's spelled pretty weird. The thing about me is because there is a middle name, I don't like nicknames. Like my family, I was raised not to have a nickname. Like, yeah, my name is Kimberly and there's Kim. But I always told people, call me Kimberly.
People call me anything. They're like, I got my G Money, Geo. I used to think when I was first younger, my name was literally spelled G and then the letter O. They were like Geo, so I just went by Go for a long time. I just went by Go. Her family's very traditional. My family's just more like open, like, oh, you know, I mean, you can call me out as long as you don't call me broke. So it's in our family, and I want our kid to have a nickname. I really do. I think nicknames are terms of endearment. Like, I like that. Like, Kim's not really for that, but I like it. I like it.
I think a name, like your entire name, parents took the time out to choose it.
And we're taking the time out.
Exactly. So to me, it's like I took a really long ass time to create your name, to choose it, to feel like it was your name for someone to shorten it. Kind of like applying somewhere and you have an ethnic last name and they don't know how to pronounce it and they don't care to pronounce it. Like, I often get mistaken as Kimberly Alfredo, even though my last name is Alfaro. And even saying Alfaro is very American. It's Alfaro.
What is that thing, a movie line? My name is my name.
That's me. That's the type of person I am.
Kim, yeah.
So I wouldn't like him to be called Mav or Rick.
I don't like the name Rick whatsoever, but Maverick sounds a lot better.
Like the whole name, I'm like, his name is Maverick, not Mav. That's why I like the other names, like Orion. You can't make a nickname out of that.
Oh. I'm not using Orion.
Leonardo, Leo. Obviously.
Leo.
Vincenzo, Vinny.
Hey.
The other ones you don't. Because Bryn is already short. That's why I like. But I don't necessarily like short names.
Brr.
I just like very meaningful,
Alicia.
profound, different
Colder.
names. As you guys can see, we have very different styles. We have different principles when it comes to naming.
21 that traditional names are pretty much kind of like
Out the window.
Yeah, out the window. It could be an object that's a name, or some type of action that's a name.
And celebrities have done it. Look at Beyonce, Blue.
Right, so it's been happening for a
Right.
little while now, but I guess now it's like
I feel
pretty
like
much.
celebrities were the first ones.
Original names are like Mike, and no disrespect to any Mikes or Anthony's out there, but
Because
like
we know a lot.
we know a lot. Yeah, but that's the reason why. Like Mike, Anthony, Tim's, John's, David's, all types of people. Those like regular guy names are pretty much like dunzo. Like they're not using them anymore.
And not to say that if you have a child that has like a common human name, like that you're basic or anything, we're not saying that. It's just for us. Like, if you know me, you would understand why I like names like this personally.
Kim's on the outer edge of brainstorming names, but it's pretty dope because you make the child stand out with that name. Not remember them long term, but at least you remember how you felt when you met them.
Especially if a name evokes some type of like element to nature or virtue. Those are very popular nature and virtue names at the moment.
Yeah, it's pretty dope.
But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. And maybe you guys can come up with the name that we chose out of the list of hints that we gave. I doubt it. I don't think anyone's gonna guess.
Anyone knows his name either. But it's a really good name. I'm when Kim mentioned it to me, I was like, yo, that's dope. I love that name.
Like he agreed to it
So
right off
cool.
the bat.
Yeah.
And you guys have seen how different we
Because
are.
it sounds like a guy's name, and it really does. And it means a lot to us too, like from her dream, and just like if you guys know anything about us, like places, like you know what we do, who we are, what we get into, like this name sounds a lot like it pertains to us.
Yep. Well, thank you guys so much for watching and tuning in. And if you want Gio to be a part of more videos, let me know down in the comments.
And if you also have like interesting names for the kids, drop them down. Like,
Oh yeah, I would
think
love
that's pretty
to
cool.
know. Bye.
So do I invoice you for this?
What?